Hey y'all, welcome back to another edition of Old School versus New School. What's going on, Alex?
Hey, I'm over here chilling, man. We just had a horrendous rainstorm come through. I'm like, I hope the internet don't get knocked out, but it passed through in like 5 to 8 minutes. It's gone now. This weather's crazy.
Yeah, it rained here for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know
Literally
what's up
like
with this. That just don't make no sense. You know, how you doing this week?
I'm good, busy as ever, when you pray for certain things and you be like, God, make me a boss. And then he just opened the heavens and I'm just like booked and busy.
I tell you this, your new jam, fuck you. That may become my anthem.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that may become my anthem.
Hey, okay then. Yes, it will be dropping soon, everybody. So look out. Everybody really is vibing with that song. Hey, Room Shaker. Hey, Sherry. Yeah,
Mm,
everybody's seeming to vibe with that song for some reason.
I love it.
Sometimes you feel like that, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. That's why that's going to become my new anthem because instead of me just saying it, I just hit the play button on TheeEnicole. So,
Exactly. Yes. Yes. That was the goal. Yes.
that's a
So,
fact.
um, I think that the person that we're going to talk about tonight felt that way as well.
Yeah, but before we get started, can I just say a rest in peace to Magoo, the rapper Magoo. He passed away. That was Timberland's partner for a long time. So rapper Magoo has passed away. And also, showbiz legend, icon, Clarence Avant. He passed away as well.
What?
So yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't even know
Clarence
he
was
was still alive, but I know exactly who that is.
yeah, he was like 92 or 93. So
Mm-hmm.
he was up there. You know, I kind of had a feeling that after what happened with his wife last year, that he wouldn't be around much longer. He probably was
Yeah,
brokenhearted, you know. So, but he's definitely an icon. He did business in a way that's very uncharacteristic of show business, where he just shook hands. I'm gonna do this. Let's get it done and get it done. Man of his word, kept his word. No trickery, no fancy contract phases, or trying to jerk people out of this or jerk people out of that. Listen, this how we doing it.
yeah.
That's how we doing it. That's that. Let's move. You know. So we could all learn a lot from the legacy that he actually left. Um, Unfortunately, in our business, a lot of people don't do business that way, but we all should do business what I now call the Clarence Avant way.
Yeah, he definitely had integrity. He was very much so loved, and Magoo as well. So definitely rest in peace to both of those tremendous black men of color.
Yes. So what are you dragging me into today to try to get me triggered? Because I know how you do.
Listen, it is not my fault that you be triggered.
Oh, there you go. Already? The disclaimers are
Yes, it's just, we got to put that fair use up there, before we
yeah.
get to this video. But I really want to hear from the men today. And ladies, don't think that I be trying to be funny, but I feel like a lot of these conversations they miss the man perspective. So I really want to hear from the men today and see what they think. But ladies, of course, I definitely want to hear from you guys too. So we're gonna jump right into the video and then we will discuss what is going on.
So why'd you breaking up with me? Why? Man. Why? Okay, so you gonna break up with me because of my son?
I was trying to teach him right from wrong. Man, give me this gun, dog. What you mean? What you say?
I said.
That's what.
So you gonna break up with me
Man,
because of my
funny,
child?
Listen,
He's just a child.
He's bad, dog.
He just need a little guidance, man. Like don't. That's a petty reason to break up with somebody. I ain't gonna lie. How? Oh, why over a 10-year-old? Over a 10-year-old. Over a 10-year-old. Over a 10. Okay.
Dog, he bad.
Right, okay, but that's not no reason to break up with nobody.
I can't do it no more, man.
So you gonna throw
you gonna figure out that, man. I'm done.
So you just gonna throw all these years down the drain?
I'm done.
So man breaks up with woman because her son is too bad. Before we get into things, hey Shank, welcome. You guys, make sure that you are subscribed to Shank, okay? Because I told y'all he is over there doing the Lord's work, okay? Make sure that y'all are subscribed to him. Y'all know I'm big on support over here. So what do you think about that clip, Alex?
I think that is a problem with many relationships when they're single mothers and they bring men into the household to try to build a relationship. It is a problem because, for one, it's how you come into the home. One, you have to know what you're walking into, for one. You can't come in. See, a lot of men want to come in because they're men and we're masculine and we got the brawn and, we want to play disciplinarian. But you can't be disciplinarian to a child you just met that's not your child biologically. That you're a stranger. Okay. So if you're serious about this woman, and a lot of times we're not serious about the woman anyway, we just want to come in and hit and play family and then leave when we get tired of her. But if you're serious about the woman, you have to really come in and develop a relationship with the child first. That's first and foremost. Before any disciplining can take place, you got to have a relationship with the child so they respect you. See, the key word is respect. And that goes for the woman too. If your woman don't respect you, she's liable to do anything. See, even the Bible says a man is to love, honor, and cherish his wife. The wife is to respect the husband. So without respect, a man has nothing. So he has to come in and sit down, build a relationship, command respect, but add that balance. Then later on, you can deal with discipline and things like that. But I'm not sure how long these two people been together, but it's a very common problem.
Well, she said 6 years. One thing I'm going to say from a woman's perspective, and I actually got chewed out about this from the manosphere men. Okay. I think I told you about that, Alex. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to rush some man into my child's life. The next person I be with, they have to be my best friend first. So that means eventually after me and him become good friends and I know who this person is, then he could be around my child and they can meet each other as friends. That's mommy's friend. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, how are you going to just brush into these relationships? You instantly have this man around your child. You don't know his values. You don't know his beliefs, things like that, his upbringing. You know what I'm saying? And you are forcing this person onto your child. Like your child is a part of you. They're supposed to be your first priority. It's too many things happening to children, little boys and little girls, for you to just be introducing some stranger. And then it's also another problem where, say they did go that route, but the man or the woman feel like, you can't say nothing to my child. Like, what are we doing? If you want him to pay for your children's stuff, you want him to pay these bills, but he can't discipline the kids. Like, I just feel like the family structure, period, is so like jumbled up. You know what I'm saying?
It's a two-sided argument, right? Because we can always say, and many times it's true, these single mothers are left with these children, and a lot of them are not fit to care and nurture and discipline and take care of these children properly on their own. They do what they know how to do. And many times what they were shown how to do is not correct. And the men that they have these children with have failed them. I've even known men who have children with women and go, and when the relationship goes sour, go, well, if I can't be with you, fuck that child. They will say to the woman, if I can't be with you, fuck that child. These women got to watch who they lay with. I know dudes change later on. They come in, playing Sir Galahad and got the cape on and all that bullshit to get you in bed and all that craziness, okay? But you got to watch people over a significant period of time. Their true colors will show. Stop bringing these people into your home. And first of all, stop having children with these people. How many women you hear talking about? Oh, I like a dangerous guy. I like a little thug in my man. I like a dangerous dude. When do you grow up and look for a real dude that's going to be responsible, have a child with you, and take care of that child? And then when he turns around and be a dangerous dude or irresponsible or a thug and leave your ass with a baby, now you mad at all men.
Your mic is going in and out a little bit.
Okay.
I'm trying to fix it. Can you say something real quick? Let me do it because you messing it up.
I'm not sure if it's my.
Gotta say, okay, it sounds like it's a little bit better. But one thing that I've said time and time again, correct me if I'm wrong, Alex, because you know that I feel very strongly about certain things. I say this all the time to the women: slow down. We have to take our time. Everybody want to have a man for the sake of saying that you have a man, because your sisters got men, they married, your aunties got a man. You still in a rush to say you have a man, that you bypass the most important things, which are the safety of our children, their mental wellness. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not fair to put your needs above your children. Like, I understand that you're grown, you need that thing scratched from time to time, but your child should be your number one priority. Period.
Having that thing scratched from time to time, take that outside the house. Go.
Exactly. That's how I feel.
Go to his house. Go to a hotel. In the backseat of a car. Whatever you want to do, but take it outside of the house.
Or maybe give it up for a while, because obviously you're not picking the right choices when it comes to who's scratching it anyway. Like, let's prioritize things. Is where's my main point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sex is always available. But you have to raise your kids, and you have a small window to set them up properly for the future.
Yeah, but TheeEnicole, you know how powerful a tool sex can be. And it's a lot of bad sex out here. So when you find somebody that's knocking it down right.
For those people. I don't know.
TheeEnicole, when you find somebody that's knocking it down right, or making you make sounds you never made before in your life, you want to try to hold on to that. But you can't hold on to that at the detriment of your child, particularly, or even yourself. You have to know the difference. This is physical, sexual gratification. But if this is not a good person, I can't build with them. And sometimes that's hard to decipher when you're in the midst of this emotional kind of physical relationship.
It takes time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. Society is oversexed anyway.
Okay.
They are oversexed. Everything is perverted at this point in time. It's like, pay attention to your children. Pay attention to your children. Like, there's no excuse. There's no way around it. There's no loopholes. Like, be mothers to your children. Be fathers to your children. Period.
But you see, TheeEnicole, how many times have you heard, this is more specific for mothers. How many times have you heard single mothers say, I'm my daughter's friend. I'm my son's friend. You gotta be friends. I've seen mothers get high with their children, hang out with their children. When you a mother or a father or a parent, you have to stay in a certain lane, okay, with your children. They can't see you getting high. They can't see you sleeping around. They can't see you doing these things that would otherwise have them looking at you in a negative light. You can't come around your children drunk and leaving liquor around the house where they have access to this liquor. Now they drinking and getting drunk because they see you doing it. Parenting is a difficult job. And when you come in off the street into a situation where a woman has a ready-made family, because I've been in that situation, my second marriage, okay? And even though my second wife is gone on to glory, me and my stepson are very, very close. We text almost daily. And he's overseas right now, okay? Because I built the relationship necessary for us to love one another. And then if I had to discipline him when he was younger, he would say, okay, you right, okay. Because the relationship was there, the respect level was there. And nobody's taking the time because we so busy worried about the damn bedroom.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's a lot of people that I know. They don't even really pay their kids attention. Your children are supposed to be your first priority. They are a piece of you. Like,
but TheeEnicole, like I said though, and I'm a man, okay, and I will say that in many of these situations, the men, because we're supposed to be the leaders, right? We have let these women down many times. We come dropping babies on these women, and we don't stay. You know, if your intention is not to be with this woman, don't be dropping babies all over the place. Because it's not fair to the woman, and it's really not fair to the children. You got these dudes out here, 7 children by 7 women. No, how can you take care of that and you got a job stocking shelves? But then you want to be a drug boy. Now your kids ain't got you because you're always arrested. They're always in jail. You know, the leadership has to change. The leadership has to change. Decision making has to change. A good decision, that's a learned skill. Because we all going to make mistakes. We're going to fuck up from time to time. But to learn how to make good decisions, that's a learned skill. And many of that comes from past mistakes and getting wisdom as you go through the life and not repeating the bullshit. Stop repeating the same things over and over again, expecting a different result. Oh, this time I'm going to tell him this. He back in your bed. Oh, this time I'm going to do this. He back in your bed. You want different, do different.
And I hear you, but you know, I'm big on the men checking the men, the women checking the women. So I'm going to say women need to step their shit up. You talking about something happened, they whisper sweet nothings in you back in the bed. That's your bed. So you allowed him into that bed. So it's like we all have to take responsibility for these children. We all have to take accountability for our actions. You know what I'm saying? And if you are in that situation where you're a single mother and things like that, that should definitely be top priority on what type of caliber of man is going to be the next one that you introduce to your child or children, period.
Now, what do you do in situations, TheeEnicole, where, because, you know, a narcissist or the representative, you know, they could pretend to be somebody else for a long time. You know what I mean? And
which
so,
slow your ass down.
But they can do, TheeEnicole, they can do that for 2 or 3 years, pretend to be somebody else. And then all of a sudden, this person.
Okay, I feel like looking to get married or have some children with somebody, I would hope that you do know them more than 2 or 3 years.
You would think, right? But a lot of people want to get married.
Best case scenario, you know what I'm saying? Because I also am a firm believer that, you know, time can't determine the type of bond you have with a person. You know what I'm saying? Jamel, old school versus new school ain't that type of show, but you know, I love you, you know, but old school versus new school ain't that type of show. But, maybe we might have an after show. I don't know, depending on how we feel or whatever. But I feel that you can't rush into things like that. Hey, Ling Wang, somebody should be your friend first before you're in a relationship with them. Like, it's too many people that see somebody, oh, they look good, they about to be my man, or that's about to be wifey, or something like that. You don't know this person. You don't know what they look like when they angry. You don't know what they look like when they sad. You don't know what they look like when they hungry. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know how they clean their house. You don't know how they brush their teeth, wash their clothes. We be so in a rush to get into a relationship to say we have a relationship instead of thinking about further down the line. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's funny? You said something a few podcasts back where we talked about something similar to this, and you made a comment about getting to know people, and you said you don't even know them well enough to know if they wash between their toes or not, right?
Period.
That was a direct comment. And here's why that's funny.
Out there.
It's funny because I saw a video with Jenna Bush and Hoda Kotb, who are news correspondents, right? And the subject came up, do you wash your feet or between your toes? You know, both of these very professional, upstanding women admitted on public television that they do not wash between their toes or wash their feet because they let the water run down and rinse their feet off.
Oh wow. Okay, were these women of the Caucasian
One and one. Hoda Kotb is a black woman. Jenna Bush is a white woman.
Oh wow. Hey Bronze, what's going on? That is absolutely unacceptable.
See, so you're right when you say that. I mean, they admitted on public newscast, so they have no shame in their game.
Drive safely, Lane.
These are the things that you have to get to know about people. Bad habits. How are they when they get angry? How are they when they sad? Do they deal with depression, anxiety? You know, it's so much to get to know. But see, when you're craving intimacy and sex and you haven't had an orgasm in a while and all that stuff, I mean,
that's one of the main problems though, Alex, is that a lot of people don't understand the true meaning of intimacy. Intimacy is so much more than sex. You can have sex and not be being intimate with that person, but people don't even know that. They don't even take the time to do anything, let alone educate themselves, let alone get into a relationship. But it's something you said that I wanted to rebut.
Okay.
Which was about how people handle things, right? That is why you need to be friends with somebody and see if you can even kick it with them on an everyday basis, because that's why there's baby mamas and baby daddies out here. It's because they didn't care enough about that person to stay and work through the bullshit. When you friends with somebody, you really care about somebody, and then you get into a relationship, you care about that person. You can work things out. But when you just with somebody because of their physicality, if they get on your nerves, you're out of there.
You know, TheeEnicole, I had a podcast many years ago, and the question was asked, what's more important, like or love? And I opted for like. I opted for like because of the very reason you're talking about right now. Okay? Because see, love can almost be a generic term.
Go ahead. I gotta disagree though, but go ahead.
Love can almost be sort of a generic term because it's just easy to say when you're trying to get what you want, right? But when you sincerely like a person, think about the amount of people who come home from work and treat their spouses like shit all day, every day, treating their spouse or their significant other like shit. But when they out with their friends, they're a totally different person. They like being around these people. They enjoy their company. When their friends are hurting, they're there for their friends because they like them. Okay? But for some reason, when it comes to our significant others or the people that we love or a spouse or whatever the case may be, we don't act the same way. That's why you have to like the person that you're with. Stop just throwing the word love around.
I gotta disagree because I feel like you have to love that person. And I mean the true meaning, not people that are lying and just saying love. But I feel like you have to really love that person because
what's the true
might
meaning?
not like you today, but I love you, so I'm gonna continue to respect you.
What's the true meaning? What's the true meaning of love? You said the true meaning. What's the true meaning?
Well, I feel like it's up to that person to determine, you know what I'm saying? For me, it would be honesty, loyalty, and respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, but everybody don't view love the same way. Love is sacrifice. Love is hard sometimes. It's hard. Love takes work. I'll just say it like that. But I might not like you today, but because I love you, I'm not going to talk to you crazy and emasculate you. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Ling Lang, that part. But then you see, we got all these people don't even believe in the Bible or God. You know what I'm saying? So it's so different for everybody. I definitely believe in the Most High, so I'm definitely with 1 Corinthians 13. Jamil, I told you I love you, but this is not that kind of show. We don't put out the link for this show for this one.
Oh, Jamel got something to get off his chest.
Yeah, but this ain't that type of show. But
okay. But
maybe I might do a straight talk on it so I can get some people up here and see what's going on, or maybe Wednesday for Colorful Convo. But old school versus new school is just us.
But TheeEnicole, love is the foundation. Let's agree to say love is the foundation, right?
Definitely.
But love cannot sustain. Like has to sustain the relationship. Love is the foundation. But I'm telling you right now, and I know from experience, and I know other relationships have gone through this. If you really don't like that motherfucker, love don't mean shit.
But you have to like somebody. Hold on, but you gotta like somebody to even get to the love, is what I'm saying. So because I've been in relationships too, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't like that motherfucker for today. But since I love him, we're gonna work through whatever we're going through.
Right. But how many times have you heard people say, I love him, but I just can't be with him. I love him, but I just can't be with her. I love her, but I can't be with her.
I feel like in that instance, they're using the wrong word. They like that person. They don't love that person because they're not willing to put in the work. Love take work. And that's what people fail to realize. Like, relationships and love, they take work. It's not going to be roses and sunny days every damn day.
And just as well as I do, when the elation wear off, when the euphoria of the newness wear off of the relationship and the work begin, motherfuckers check out.
Exactly. When the real person come and they representative not showing up anymore.
Right. When like you say, when it comes time for the work, people check out. Okay. Somebody might be going through an illness. There might be financial problems. Okay. There might be problems with the children. There might be a whole lot of things going on. And the person want to check out now that reality has set in. So you can't sit there every day, all day on top of one another, screwing and stroking and banging and carrying on. Real life will come. Life will be lifing like a motherfucker. We know that.
Exactly. And so if you're in that checked out moment and you have children, how dare you introduce somebody to your child and you're not even loving yourself correctly? So if you're not loving yourself correctly, this man that's coming in can't love you correctly. You won't receive the love because you're not loving yourself correctly. And then for you to subject your child to that is unacceptable, period. Hey, Blended Healing, make sure that you guys are subscribed to Blended Healing, you guys. She is great over there. Make sure y'all subscribe to her.
Last week we did the podcast on a mother that used her daughter as a shield. Okay. Right. For police fire. Okay. So we wonder, you and I both asked the question, what went on in her past, in her history? What was her upbringing? See, we would love those details, right? Because when you have a woman who just meet a guy and 2 weeks later move him into her apartment when she got kids or move him into her home, that woman got problems.
Yeah,
I don't care what nobody say. And, one of my favorite shows used to be Divorce Court. I used to love Lynn Toler when she used to do it, Judge Lynn Toler, right? But
shout out to Lynn Toler.
Yeah, shout out to Lynn Toler, right? You had a lot of women up there coming up there after 2 weeks, a month, moving the guy into their home. Now they're on divorce court. Who do you know after 2 weeks, TheeEnicole? Who do you know?
It's all love, Blended Healing. Absolutely nobody. And that's why it's so important, because remember, even last week when we were talking about it, we said that's why it's going to be a cycle. And we said that her daughter needs to go talk to somebody immediately. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're in that home and these random men are coming in, or vice versa for the guys, the little boys that's watching, the little girls that's watching their father bring in a whole bunch of women. You know what I'm saying? That shapes who you become as an adult.
Right.
After you've been watching this for so long, and then let's add to the situation, right? Okay, so we don't know for that video, we don't know where the father of that little boy is. But what about the mothers who don't like the new girlfriend? You know what I'm saying? Or the baby daddies that got a problem with the new boyfriend. Like at the end of the day, while all of this foolishness is going on, the children are suffering. Like y'all not thinking about y'all kids, y'all just worried about yourselves. That's not cool.
You know, the guy said in the video when he was ranting and raving, he actually said, "Where's his dad?" He said that.
Because and see, they had been together for 6 years and he had enough. So he actually loved her because he tried to work through it. And he just was like, I can't do it no more.
Yeah, but why can't he do it? What stage was set that the child at a 6-year mark, you haven't gotten the respect and admiration of this child? You haven't nurtured the relationship enough that this child will respect you when you say, yo, go sit down, relax, don't come out till I say so.
But see, I brought that up earlier. That's when I said for those parents, single parents who are like, don't say nothing to my child. How do you expect to be in a relationship where you want this man to be a man in your household, which means I'm sure you want him to kick in on the bills. I'm sure you want him to be a provider, a protector, but he can't discipline your child. And that's what I'm saying. Like before you get into a relationship, y'all don't think about stuff like that.
I can't be in a relationship like that. I can't. You're not going to tell. See, you're not going to put me in a position where I got to feed and house and clothe a kid and I can't say nothing to him. No, that's not happening.
And then, you know, kids are manipulative. They will see cracks in a relationship like that and play all in your face.
All the time, all day, every day. Very manipulative. You know, we look at children, though, as though they're angels. We got to understand, these are little people. You know, I said before, if you get a 2 or 3-year-old child, they've been on the earth 2 years, right? And if you ask them, give me what you got, they'll put both hands behind their back, right? And you go, give it here. They'll pull their hand from behind their back, show you the empty hand. And you go, no, the other hand. They'll switch hands behind their back and show you the other hand empty. Like you don't know these tricks. Okay? They're born manipulators, born liars, all of us. That's why a lot of us, when we get our religious awakenings or whatever, we say we're born again.
Yeah, we definitely were born again. Yes, definitely.
Because you're born with these things that you have to unlearn. You're born with them. So it's a lot that goes into that, but I'm not going to be in a situation where I love a woman that has children or a child, and I'm expected to protect this child, feed this child, clothe this child, house this child, and they're going to run wild on me, and I can't say nothing to them. It ain't even that kind of party.
Right. I want to know from the people in the chat, men and women both, would you leave a relationship where you might be in love with this person, but the child is just wild? Like, put a 1 in the chat if you would leave because the child is too bad, or put a 2 in the chat. And then with the 2s, I want to know, like, what's your solution? So while we're waiting for the people to give us their answers, Alex, would you leave a relationship if the child was too wild?
Can you replay the video? Is it possible? Because I want to see if I missed anything the first time around.
Yeah. So let me play this video, and in the meantime, put a 1 in the chat if you will leave because the child is unruly, or would you stay and try to come up with a solution? Here's the video again.
So why'd you breaking up with me? Why? Why? Okay, so you gonna break up with me because of my son?
I was trying to teach him right from wrong. Man, give me this gun, dog. What you mean? What you say?
I said.
That's what.
So you gonna break up with me because of my child?
Mind you, he's cussing at him right now.
He just need a little guidance, man. Like, don't. That's a petty reason to break up with somebody. I ain't gonna lie. How? Oh, why? Over a 10-year-old? Over a 10-year-old. Over a 10-year-old. Over a 10.
Middle finger.
Okay.
Dog, he bad.
Right, okay, but that's not no reason to break up with nobody.
I can't do it no more, man.
So you gonna throw, you gonna
figure out that, man. I'm done.
So you just gonna throw all these years down the drain?
Okay, from one, I'm gonna say one thing. That conversation should not have been had in front of the child. I'm gonna say that.
Bingo, that part.
Vibe with Big Heavy Podcast. Hey, welcome. I never seen that name before. Welcome. And it says he has a podcast, so y'all make sure y'all check him out. He said that number 2. So what would be the solution? I want to hear this solution. Ling Lang says one and did, but she's driving, so I want her to get where she's going safely. So watching the video again, what you think?
But you asked me the question before the video the second time. Would I leave because of an unruly child? The question is yes, with mitigating circumstances. Okay. And those mitigating circumstances are simply this. If the mother and me are not on a unified front, because we just admitted that kids are manipulative. Even in that video, we seen how manipulative the kid was being. Okay, if you watch closely.
I gotta pause you right quick though. While he doing all that, she should have been checking her son instead of worried about him. He can wait a minute. Y'all been together for 6 years. He can wait a minute. You need to address your child.
And
you videoing this so you can go viral or whatever, but you need to be addressing your child.
And that's what I mean by unified front. Because see, children can sense division and they'll play on that.
Exactly.
But if two parents can get together as a unified front and say, we're not dealing with this bullshit, get it together. The child has nowhere to go. But if the child see one parent weaker than the other, or one parent, he can get over on one parent, that's where you're going to lean that energy, or she's going to lean that energy. Okay. So if I'm with somebody and they insist on not being a unified front for the sake of this child's development, because I'm not going to just come in and beat your child to death because of discipline. Discipline is not just beating. It's a lot of different things that go into disciplining.
Right.
Okay. So they have to understand, though, that we have to stand together and let this child know you're not going to divide us. So stop with the bullshit. This is how we run this household. Okay. We eat dinner together. We eat dinner at 6. You don't eat dinner at 6, you don't eat. You got to make your bed every day. I want that room clean. That room not clean, there's going to be repercussions. And y'all two, as adults in a relationship, have to stand by those things. But the mother in this video apparently would not check the child. And secondly, as you said, that conversation should never happen in front of that child.
It should have never happened in front of that child. Vibe with Big Heavy. He said he would stay and work it out. I want to know, like, what solution would you have at that point? Because he looked like he was maybe like 11 or 12.
It takes two, TheeEnicole. It takes two. Now you can say I'll work it out, but if you got a mother or a woman looking at a father, or her mate is a man or whatever the case is, and they don't have the cooperation of the other, it's not going to work. You can't do it by yourself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what would the solution be? Because after 6 years, and he looked fed up, like, you know what I mean? When a man is fed up,
yeah,
and he was out of there, like, you know what I'm saying? All right, let's see what Big Heavy says. Says, see, the problem is that men enter the household thinking they are the child's father from the gate, and the child notice he's trying to be in control, and the mom doesn't notice it, but the child do.
I said that from the gate. That's how I started the show.
Mm-hmm.
They're absolutely right in what they're saying. That person in the chat is absolutely right what they're saying. I started it out from the gate.
Elaborate again for me. So y'all feel that he was doing too much, so the child is just rebelling? Because if that's the case, then what is the mother's responsibility in that point right there then?
Something
I feel like she was chirping.
6 years is more than enough time for this man to have built a bond enough with this child, so this child can feel safe enough. Mm-hmm. So when the man disciplines them, they know he cares enough to tell them to sit their ass down, and they listen because he built that relationship. You can't come in the door. You've been there 3 days, 2 days, bossing these kids around. That's not how that works.
Yeah, and that's why I said the friendship thing. Like, me personally, the next person that I be with, like, once I establish that, okay, we cool, we trying to do something else, you have to be introduced as a friend first. You're not going to be just introduced to, this is mommy's new man and this is what it is. She don't know him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's fast forward. So do you think, like, and we're assuming at this point, because we don't know these people, do you think that they kind of like just went into the relationship like that? And then he just became daddy, you know what I mean? Because he wasn't listening to nothing. Middle fingers, cussing. Like, that was utmost disrespect. That wasn't like, you know, rolling your eyes or breathing hard. Like, middle fingers and cussing at that man.
You know what it is, TheeEnicole? He came in smashing. He came in booty first. Okay.
Wait a minute. Rearrange that. He came in what?
He came in smashing.
Oh, okay.
Okay. He came in booty first, all over that woman, and he got caught up. And he felt like, oh, because if it's good, I can build something else based off the euphoria of sex. And that's backwards.
Never, vibe. Never. That's what I've been screaming. The mother should never take any man over their child. Period. Never. He said, E, so what if the man is disrespecting the mom and the child can act on that as well? I wonder that too. Because
children should stay out of grown folk business.
Exactly. That's my thing. Like, because number one, towards the woman, I'm gonna call her a girl because that's not some woman shit what she did. But you will pull your camera out while you see there's a disturbance with your child and your man. The camera will be the last thing I'm thinking about. And then this is happening in front of you. You see your child's behavior. You haven't checked the son at all. But I do wonder, like, how the guy treats the woman, because a child is not going to respect you if you're not treating the mother right. That's their mom.
Yeah, that's a fact. But you asked for solutions, right? Earlier. Yeah, I'm not sure if anybody in the chat has their own solutions, or maybe TheeEnicole, you may have a solution that you want to talk about later on or whatever.
Oh, no, I don't have a solution. I will be gone. I will be gone.
Here's a solution I used when I was married and we had a blended family. My second wife and myself, right? Once a week, or often enough, we would have what we called a family forum, right?
Yeah,
we would all get together in the living room. We would talk about our week, our days, whatever the case was, what the needs are, what the wants are, and everybody would get their stuff out on the table, their issues, problems, whatever, right? And we would either solve them as a family, or mom and I will make an executive decision based off what we know best, just from basic living. Okay. But we gave the children an opportunity to voice their opinion, become problem solvers, lay their feelings out. See, this is how you build the relationship when you have a blended family. Because not only are you blending this new male figure or woman figure into the child's life, that person may come in with their own children as well.
Right.
And you got to blend that. Okay.
Right.
So
but nowadays, the kids too into their devices, the parents too into their devices. You see, the first thing she did was pick up her phone. There's no communication anymore. You know what I'm saying? And then you have these devices where you fill in your head and your spirit and your mind with all this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to unplug and have that connection with your family. Like, why would you not want to have the connection with the people that's under your roof? You know what I mean? Like, we did that in our family as well. So I think that's, I don't know if that's a normal thing nowadays, but it definitely need to be reintroduced if not.
Yeah, we got to get back to some real talking to people, and, a relative said this to me just yesterday. A relative said this to me. She said, you guys need to get back to eating together. She was talking about me and my daughter, because sometimes me and my daughter, we get our dinner and we eat in separate rooms, and she watch her program and I may watch my program while we eating dinner and so forth. And she said, you guys need to eat together more, because any situation that you can get where it's a situation to bond and communicate, we should take those situations. These devices, social media has ruined a lot of relationships, marriages, parenting, friendships. It's destroying us.
Yeah. Even if you just have Sunday dinner, like once a week, just get together as a family and bond. But half these bitches, I'm sorry, I'm getting upset.
Don't you? Where's the disclaimer? Disclaimer.
Oh, let me put it on up there. Hold on. All right, here we go. Half these women don't even know how to cook a decent meal to have a Sunday dinner with their family. You know what I'm saying? And I guess I'll give y'all past baby steps. Go out and get some good food and bring it to the house and eat. But like, what happened to cooking in the kitchen with your mom? Or you know what I'm saying? We have to, especially our culture, because that's all I'm talking to anyway. We have to get to a point where we are communicating with each other. Period. Like we don't even talk to each other no more. You want to talk through text? No.
Yeah. TheeEnicole, you brought up an excellent point. I want to ask you this because I don't know if you know in your travels or whatever. What's with these women today? They can't cook. What is with this? I don't understand. What's the problem?
Listen, I cannot answer that for you, Alex, because TheeEnicole know how to cook. I ain't get this thing for no reason, okay? I don't understand it, especially with all the poisons and stuff that they put in these foods nowadays anyway. Like the food ain't even that good no more. You know what I'm saying? Go to one of your, I don't know how old the people in the chat are, but I'm good in my 30s. And you know, your old favorite restaurant, you go back, it might pop into your head, oh, I want some of this, and you go, and it don't even taste the same. Like I'd rather just cook. So I do not understand that. I do not have an answer for you. I am sorry.
It's weird. And then when you're in a relationship, sometimes, you know, a lot of women, you say, you know, make me something to eat. I don't know how to make that. I don't know how to cook that. You know,
even
what?
If you go in there and fuck some food up, just go try it out. I mean, the kitchen is an experiment place anyway. Like, just go try it. Oh my God. Vibe with Big Heavy says solution is stop trying to play dad and spend time with the child so he can feel confident that you are there for the right reasons. I've done it, and my stepson is grown, but always respected me. Yes, I agree with that.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it, TheeEnicole. Listen, I've said that. I appreciate the confirmation. I've been saying that since we started.
Make sure y'all subscribe to wherever Vibe Heavy. Do you have a page on YouTube? Make sure y'all go support that man. Dropping jewels, okay?
Listen, TheeEnicole, my stepson who I helped raise.
No more big mamas. I'm a big mama.
No more big mama.
But you know.
what you mean not too big? I saw a couple of weeks ago.
Like you're like, I ain't big mama like that, but I'm big mama though.
Last week I saw you had that thigh out. What are you talking about?
Lord Jesus Christ.
Don't start nothing.
Down the wrong road, okay?
Don't start nothing. You took them pictures. That thigh was out.
Well, my thigh got like this from home cooking, okay?
Oh, okay. I got you. But
y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Vibe with Big Heavy Podcast.
Yeah. Let me tell this quick story about my stepson. He's in the Army, as I said before. I helped raise him. He was my second wife's, son. And when he was leaving for the military, because his mother, she was a military brat. They were a military family. My family was not. So he leaving for the military. I'm upset now because the country was at war at the time. Afghanistan was hot at that time. And he was going in, and I was upset. I was crying. I didn't want him to really go. I was worried. And his mother wasn't crying, and she like, he's not going to see battle, Alex. Don't worry. He's not going into battle. He's training. Believe me, he's not. Right. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So before he left, me and him had a sit down, and I asked him, I said, son, how do you think, as you go off now to be a man, how do you think I did helping your mother raise you up? And he looked at me, he said, you did a good job, Pimpin'. He used to call me Pimpin', the nickname. He said, you did a good job, Pimpin'. You did real good. And that made me so proud because, and this is why we so close today. His mother's gone. And we still keep in touch regularly. He sent me pictures of the kids. I send them Christmas money and money for birthdays and things like that until he comes back here. Go
ahead.
So, but that's a relationship that got built over time. I didn't walk in the door telling him, go in your room, make your bed, because I wasn't just there to lay with his mother. I was
Right.
there to have a family.
Right.
You know what I
want to ask you
mean?
a question. I want to ask you a question. I want to address them real quick in the chat. Vibe, always, I stand on support over here. Support. We get to where we going a lot faster if we work together and support each other. So, yes, I'm big on support over here. And being said, I was talking about why women can't cook anymore. That's why I said I can't answer the question because I cook, okay? But they don't cook or clean. And I
Yeah,
feel
that
like
too.
that's culture. I feel like that's culture. I feel like they got these girls thinking like, oh, if he want to be with me, he need to take me to X amount of restaurants and buy me this and buy me that. What y'all need to start buying these women is some recipe books. Buy them some recipe books, buy them some pots, buy them some pans, buy them some oven mitts. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all are grooming baby mamas. Y'all not breeding wives no more. You know what I'm saying? And this is no disrespect to anybody and how they was raised, but I was raised by wives. I wasn't raised by baby mamas. I wasn't raised by side chicks. You know what I'm saying? So it goes into what we were saying earlier with the upbringing and what happens as you a kid. It manifests when you're grown. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have no responsibilities, priorities, and values when you're coming up, you're not going to have them when you're grown. So yes, men, if you want to wife her, stop going to buy her bags and with bundles. Go buy some recipe books and some pots and pans. Okay. Now, Alex, my question for you is when you guys first started dating, you know what I'm saying? Because you didn't instantly meet her and get married, I'm assuming. What was that like when you were just dating her as far as the children? Like, how did you handle that?
Well, first of all, to answer your question about just meeting her and dating her, we were friends for years.
Thank
And
you.
when I say years, well over a decade and a half, we were just friends. Okay. So we had the foundation there. Okay. So when we decided, to go to, and we had a hiatus where we didn't see each other for a while, whatever. And then we picked back up, the friendship remained. Okay. The friendship was still intact. So when we decided to take the extra step, we just knew the ground rules. This is what's going to happen. This is what needs to happen. And you get a plan in place. You strategize. And it's communication is so important. You can't assume nothing because, as they say, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. Okay, don't assume anything. Sit down and have a discussion. Everybody don't do things the way you do things. I operate different. She operate different. The kids all have different personalities. You got to find out what those little kinks are in the armor.
And then they change. They also change as you grow. You know what I'm saying? You got to grow
right
with the person you with and the kids too. You grow, you learn new things, you have more experiences and your perspectives change. So you got to be flexible to not only just learn, but to grow with that person and them kids.
And my oldest daughter, she didn't want to accept my second wife, okay, because she just didn't want to accept her, right? And over time, because the way she's seen how we ran the household, she just totally fell in love with her. Just totally fell head over heels, right? In love with my second wife. And so when my second wife passed away, my daughter came to me and was like, "Thank you, Dad, for bringing her into our life." You know what I mean? So,
and my daughter was done the correct way.
And my daughter's in the medical profession today. My daughter's a nurse because of her stepmother. That's okay. These are the things we have to understand and learn. Okay. We can't just be overly consumed with jumping in the bed because that stuff's going to run its course. It really is going to run its course. You're going to say, sex is like crack. You get that first hit of crack in the beginning and you spend the rest of your life as an addict chasing that first hit.
See, I don't know nothing about crack. Let me get the y'all.
Yeah, me either. But you gonna put that? you when I decided I would never try crack. When I heard,
I said when.
When I heard straight men talking about sucking penis for a hit.
Oh wow! Let me put this back up here.
I said, you got to be kidding me. Is it that bad where a straight man want to suck penis for a hit? I ain't never trying that.
Vibe with Big Heavy says, and you can't try to change. They program you, got to join the program and make your slight adjustments as you go. Yep. Yes. Growing, adjusting, and it has to be done in love. That is way more than like. You might not like them kids today, but because you love them, you're gonna treat them right. You're gonna treat their mother right. You're gonna treat their father right for whatever situation that applies to. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to say before, like, as they're wrapping this up, slow down on jumping into these relationships with people. I'm not judging nobody. I'm not telling nobody how to live their life. If you want to have a wild night, cool. Go do that shit away from your kids. Go have you a night out. You know what I'm saying? Get that taken care of and come and be a proper mother. Come and be a proper father. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, when all said is done, the children are watching. The children are learning from your actions. The children are learning from how you allow people to treat you. And that goes for men and women. Men, you stay away from these women who are disrespecting you. Your kids are watching somebody disrespect their father. And vice versa for the women. Kids are watching somebody disrespect their mother. That affects them as children and goes into their adult life.
Yeah. And for me, before we wrap, respect in a relationship as a man, because it's also biblical that a man must command respect. It's more important than love. Love is the foundation. But anytime the children, the woman don't respect that man, you ain't gonna have nothing. It's gonna crumble real quick. Okay, so we have to learn how, like you said, move slow, but open up the lines of communication early. If a man comes in and he's serious about that woman, and that takes time to figure out how serious he is about you. But if he's serious, he'll take the time necessary with your children. He'll take your children to the park. He'll take them to the movies. He'll read them bedtime stories. He'll do all those things necessary.
You and Big Heavy must be around the same age because y'all kind of like saying the same stuff because you're saying the correct way to do it, and he is accentuating that by saying you got to remember half these dudes never ran a household, so they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah,
so
they don't.
Y'all right on point with that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what it has to be, because, and you have to have, as I said before, and I'm going to drill this point home. The parents have to have a unified front. Even if all the children are both parents' biological children, you still have to have a unified front in front of these children. Otherwise, they will dominate the household and be manipulative and get over and play tricks and all that. You guys have to get together as the adults and say, this is how we do business in here. Either get with it or you're going to have issues.
For sure. So slow down, love each other more, love yourself first so that you can then give proper love and receive proper love and love your babies. You know what I'm saying? Before we get out of here, you guys know, as always, I promote support. So I cannot go without saying, make sure that y'all subscribe to my co-host Alex over at Magnetic Repellant, because he's dope all by himself. And his link is definitely in the description of every old school versus new school episode. So make sure that y'all going over there and y'all supporting Alex because he's dope.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. He said that's why y'all should listen to the old heads experience above everything. Salute to all. Yes. And actually, Vibe with Big Heavy, that's exactly why I wanted to do this show. Remember, Alex, when I brought this idea to you, I'm like, it's always the old school, you know, talking about how the new school don't listen. You know what I'm saying? They don't respect them. And then the new school is like, oh, they don't know what they're talking about. Times are different. We have to learn from each other, because history repeats itself if you don't take the necessary steps to change it. So we have to learn from the people that was here before us. And then we can teach the other people what y'all missing, you know, get y'all hit. But it has to be mutual respect from all the generations.
And when you brought it to me, I agreed quickly because we need this. We really do.
So I had to go find an old man to come do the show with me.
Hey, watch your mouth now.
Nah, you know, you my guy, you know, I respect you and I love you, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's very important. And y'all know I'm big on walking what you talk. Like, you could talk a good game and dress it up and make it a cute little show. But if you're not really walking in that thing, you really need to have a seat, because there's people out here that really need love, direction, advice, and all those sorts of things. So I appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll be back next week, same time, same place, new topic.
Peace out.
Welcome to my galaxy. Welcome to my galaxy. This is TheeEnicole. You can always call me E, but don't never call me Nicole. Your presence is appreciated. Please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. It's always a vibe. In my galaxy.
Hey, it's Sean Dufresne from Ready to Love, and you are watching my girl, TheeEnicole.
Tasha Lyons telling you to tune into TheeEnicole.
This is Samson from Ready to Love, and you're tuned into TheeEnicole.
It's Winter from Love Marriage DC, and you're tuned in to TheeEnicole.